One of my favorite movies from last year was a real bone chiller named Halloween, the work of a bright young director named John Carpenter, who's back this year with another thriller called The Fog. And if you watch this scene coming up, I think you'll see that Carpenter is trying to scare us all over again with the same basic story elements that were in Halloween. An isolated small town, a dark and ominous night, and a murderer that springs up out of nowhere like a homicidal jack-in-the-box.
Now, what is the big deal? You've seen fog once, you've seen it for life.
Oh, there's something different about this fog, Dan. It glows. Can't you see anything yet?
Glows? Oh, I get it. You take something to keep you going, right? Does it make you feel a little weird sometimes? Hey.
What?
The lights went out. Everything's going crazy. Barometer's falling, temperature's dropping.
Dan, what is it?
What the hell's that?
Dan, what is it? What's happening? What is it? What's happening?
Someone's shining a light through the window.
Dan, listen to me.
Hold on, sweetheart. I want to check this out.
Dan! Dan, stay on the phone!
This has got to be a joke. Someone's at the front door, sweetheart, playing a stupid joke. And whoever it is, they ain't gonna like finding me home.
Dan, stay away from the door! Dan! Dan!
Hello? Anybody here?
Well, I think once you see that sequence, you've seen the basic scare tactic of The Fog. People open doors, or they turn their backs, or they walk into a dark church, or they go down into the basement, and whammo! The Fog does have a storyline, a very thin storyline. It seems that a ship was wrecked on that coast 100 years ago that very night, and the townspeople at that time murdered the sailors, and the sailors vowed to return as ghosts a century later. Well, you got to admit, as stories go, that will probably do. We don't demand stainless steel plausibility in a thriller, but we do enjoy a colorful and offbeat villain, and that's where The Fog disappointed me, because fog itself just isn't that fascinating as a threat. It rolls in from the sea, it glows in the dark, it contains the ghosts of sailors, and so what? It's just too ungainly as a special effect to allow the kind of sharp-edged, split-second timing that was so frightening in Halloween. So the movie's well made, but it's just not merciless enough.
Exactly right. I mean, the fog, who cares? It's not threatening at all. Also, the repetition of the same pattern of attack is really boring. Knock on the door, guy goes to the door, looks around, then when he least expects it, but we always expect it, he gets it in the neck. It's pretty dull, as a matter of fact. Very disappointing from John Carpenter.
There's another thing here, too. I think Carpenter was depending upon the same kind of craft that he had in Halloween to make the movie work. He doesn't bother to really establish the characters in his town as people. One of the things that was interesting, for example, about Jaws, and to a degree to Halloween, was that we really got to know the people enough to care about them, but we don't care about these people in The Fog.
So we get boring characters killed off in boring ways.
Yeah, it's, if you're looking for another movie like Halloween, this is not the movie to go see.
Exactly.
But Gene and I both voted no for The Fog. It just wasn't scary enough.